A troubling food stamp scandal has now resulted in arrests, not arrests, but terminations of state employees. I had arrests on there.
That's
right.
right.
They messed that up. Hartford Courant Capital
yet.
Bureau Chief Chris Keating. I tell you, I need those glasses when you come on there.
That's true.
So listen, this is what we had you on early when this story was breaking.
Yes.
Right, and now it's evolving, and now you have the firing, termination of 27 state employees. 10 have retired, and 5 have resigned as a result of this whole issue of the storm. There was emergency aid for people out there, and the allegations that many state employees fudged their numbers, fudged their salaries in order to qualify for that aid when they shouldn't have, and now it's come up in its time. So where's it go from here? The appeal process?
Yes, that's right. So basically, when you add all that up, that's 42 people who are out of jobs. Wow. 42 people, which is a fair number.
More to come. More to come.
From what we're told, it looks like it. Wow. That are in the pipeline. Yeah, a lot of them will go to the grievance and then eventually arbitration. As you know, employment issues can take a long, long time. However, for the 10 who retired and the 5 who resigned, they've kind of given up, if you think of it that way. The 27, we don't have a complete list of how many will be fighting it, but some have already gone to grievance and been denied. The next step after grievance is arbitration, which can be time-consuming, as you know, and then I guess eventually it could go to court.
Are these working-class folks? Are these folks in the supervisory level? How do we have a profile on who these folks are?
Some of the people, one of the women who was fired, and a lot of these people have not been given their names out, both the Attorney General, Malloy's office, and even the attorney for the fired people hasn't really given any names out. But anyway,
why not? Why not? It's public information. They're public employees. Why shouldn't their names come out on this? Can we FOI? You're the FOI guy. Can we FOI this?
They
put you in charge of that. FOI this, Keating.
They got a 3-page ruling from the Attorney General, and what they said was this. They said you can't get the names of any food stamp recipients under federal law. You can't get the names of any food stamp recipients. So they're putting the umbrella of food stamp recipients over these people.
Right.
However, if you got food stamps fraudulently, you're not really a food stamp recipient, are you?
That's the whole argument, right?
Right. So,
and this wasn't just food stamp. This was you could have the money for repairs to your home.
Yes.
Or for other items, right? So it wasn't just food stamps per se. It was anything that did damage to.
Right. It is not what you and I may consider the traditional food stamp program. This is an emergency benefit program. Emergency benefit, it's called DSNAP, but it's under the umbrella of the food stamp program.
It was cash. It was a cash card. It wasn't really a stamp, a food stamp, but actually a card where you could, a debit card, I guess you could say, right?
That is correct. So a debit card, and that is right. And
I've been reading your stories, Keating.
That's very good. And it didn't have to do just with food loss, right? If you got knocked out of your house, you had to stay in a hotel for 3 days, or whatever. Any storm-related expenses, you could do it. But the 27 people are still on the hot seat, and the bottom line is over 1,000 state employees applied for these benefits.
Wow. So the other issue now, when we first started here, there was some issue that perhaps state employees who were issuing the vouchers were also complicit, telling other employees, well, hey, just do this, and you can compete better for the funds. Any update on that? Because that was sort of being floated out there that maybe Malloy's people on the administrative side were encouraging it.
Yes. The governor has said no on that. He said he doesn't have evidence of that. That has been alleged by the attorney for the fired people. Yes, in other words, that people come in, you discuss something over the thing, you tell a person, I got $500 in the bank. They say, oh, what about this? Do you have $400 in bills? Yeah, $499. I'm going to pay for it tomorrow. Okay, so now you got $1 in the bank. So without witnesses there, who knows exactly what was said? Who knows what was said when the form was filled out, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the bottom line is 42 people are out of jobs at the moment.
And it's an ongoing story. Let's change gears now. GOP primaries, presidential. Connecticut was thought to be sort of out of the mix with April 24th being the primary date, and everybody said, well, that's so late. It'll be all done by then. The race is sort of heating up now, right? Santorum and Romney and Gingrich. Where come April 24th, Connecticut may actually be in play to some degree, right?
It will definitely still be a race on April 24th. Yes, some people thought way back, think of early January, Romney will run the table. By the time you get to Connecticut, who cares? That is totally untrue. Santorum has won 10 states now. Right. He's won 10. Gingrich has won 2 states. Just this week, Santorum won Alabama and Mississippi, which should have been the home turf of Newt Gingrich. Right. That was a big blow to Gingrich. There's no way that Gingrich should lose in Alabama. Absolutely not. That should not happen.
You've covered politics for a long time. What do you make of that, the Santorum phenomenon now?
I think it shows some weakness of Gingrich. And basically what you would do, if you took the Santorum and Gingrich numbers, put them together as a conservative, then that's 60% in Alabama. So you beat Romney 60-30, and Paul might get 10. But you beat Romney badly. If Gingrich is out of the race, you beat Romney badly in Alabama, and you beat him badly in Mississippi.
Interesting. Now, Romney, by the way, is coming to Connecticut. He was here on Wednesday for a fundraiser, so he still has his connections out in the Gold Coast, right? Greenwich.
Yeah.
And,
Romney has huge support in Connecticut. You know, we talk about the South, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Huge support in Greenwich, as well as all of Connecticut. He's the next-door neighbor.
Venture capitalists, right? All those venture capitalist money out there.
Most of the hedge funders and a lot of the Wall Street crowd is pro-Romney.
Right.
He was the next-door, you know, governor in Massachusetts, et cetera, et cetera. The Republican establishment in Connecticut is very much for Romney. There's not that much support, certainly not fundraising support, for Gingrich or Santorum here in Connecticut. No.
And it's what, 25 delegates here in Connecticut up for grade 28?
Maybe 28.
28. All right.
Yeah.
Tom Foley, it's not too early to talk about gubernatorial elections. We're only 2 years away, so already the positioning has started. Tom Foley, who only lost by about 6,000 votes last time around,
6,400 votes.
said, listen, I'm in the game. I'm back in the mix. Your thoughts on him already raising up the stakes?
Yeah, Foley basically said when asked, you know, would you run again, he said, the reasons that I ran last time are still the same reasons now. In other words, nothing has changed. So in other words, why wouldn't I run? In other words, is what he was saying. And yeah, no, basically, I think most of the political insiders think he's running. He basically said so this week. He had said so earlier, but he reiterated it this week.
A rematch. Folks love a good rematch, Keating, right?
Yeah, Ali Frazier.
Absolutely. Ali, they went 3 times.
They went 3 times, exactly.
The trilogy.
Should add you in there.
All right, when we come back, he's Chris Keating, Harper Courant Capital Bureau Chief. Check out his blog, the Capital Watch.
Capital Watch.
Whatever it's called over there, watch, must read. When we come back, folks, we'll talk about March Madness, college basketball. Is this Jim Calhoun's last stand? Scott Gray from WTIC-AM, he joined us for a talk about March Madness. Don't go away. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook too.